talking about his mental capabilities. He can handle a lot, and I think he's just got that makeup that the great ones do. We can only hope he can be
That's the hope.
Patrick Mahomes or anything close to that, and he's going to get his chance to go show that.
The reason he said Mahomes was Schrager was talking about Mahomes practicing as a rookie and how much they loved him. Story you've told before. So that's the context of he didn't just bring up Mahomes to say Mahomes, but
because they talked about the practice film leaking of Trey Lance, and John Lynch had a laugh like we kind of did that.
Yeah, it did feel like Lynch the Niners were somehow behind it, didn't it?
Do I need to text someone? Hey guys, if you guys want to leak some shit, I'll fucking post that shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
I mean, what are we doing here?
Hey, send it all to Javier.
I listen. I thought today, watching John Lynch on Good Morning Football and then watching him again try to kind of navigate, and this is not, he has a lot of strong suits. I do think he struggles at kind of lying and bullshitting because he's a positive person, and it was a tough
He's a
spot
straightforward
for him
person.
Yeah, just Jimmy being on the roster is like, again, this isn't really shocking, but anytime you just hear these guys talk, like they put all their chips in the middle of the table on Trey Lance, which again, it's of course they did. But like you watch John Lynch for this morning, talking with Schrager on Good Morning Football, and then again his press conference, like they're all in. They're all in.
He said something they've said before, which is we love him more than we did when we drafted him, which is pretty easy to believe, given how little they knew about him when they drafted him as a football player, right?
Like, do you think Joe Douglas could say that with a straight face in New York?
No, I think that's the beauty of the one thing that comes with not playing is we're still very hopeful about what you could be. We haven't seen all of your flaws yet. Now, they've seen him a lot in practice, and they have opinions on him based on practice. I think they have hammered since day one.
He got 2 stars. Maybe wetted their beak.
That's true. That's true. And I think he did enough good stuff to make you feel good.
I'd like to be a little more urgency in the running.
Yes,
maybe he's just not,
I'd be okay if he doesn't
maybe
run
just not
15
explosive.
times.
Yeah,
I thought he was uncomfortable as a runner. I think he'll feel. I expect him to get a little better as a runner, maybe a lot better as a runner. I expect him to get a lot better at a lot of things. So do they. They need him to, right? Like even Lynch. It's funny to your point. Like John Lynch is like, I'm worried about Jimmy's shoulder right now because right now Jimmy's a part of our team. It's like he has a hard time saying it because he can't out and out say. I guess he could. Like we're trading Jimmy. Hopefully we won't have to cut him. We don't want to get stuck with $7.5 million. Prague's going to be pissed. But, he's their starting quarterback. When the 49ers, barring a Tom Brady miracle, when the 49ers break the huddle, week 1, wherever the hell that is, next year, at the Rams on Thursday Night Football, I don't know. It's Trey Lance, number 5 is coming out of the huddle for the first snap. And he's going to hand it off.
Would you want Rams week 1, by the way, or is that too early?
Too early.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Rams, let them do their banner or whatever against.
Give them the Chargers, the Chiefs, or something.
You do want it to be a good game. The Chiefs.
Yeah.
Poor Chiefs play every Thursday to open the season.
Yeah, it's an easy one.
Yeah. But whenever it happens, number 5 is coming out. So we're going to spend a lot of time this offseason. We're going to go to camp. There's going to be Trey Lance videos all over the place. Is Trey Lance ready? One player says he is. Asked about it after practice. Fred Warner said this. Fred Warner picked them off twice today. Asked about it after practice. Deebo Samuel said that. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm here for all of it. Like, we don't get to fast forward. We got to, every step of the way, take every step on the ladder and figure out how ready is he. But we're going to find out when he takes the first snap of the regular season as the starting quarterback for the 49ers.
Yeah. The offseason for a guy like him and like any young player, I mean, I used to always – this is when I worked in the NFL, they would hammer this home, hammer this home, hammer this home. The biggest jump guys make is their first to second year because – and GMs, I've heard a lot of guys talk about this. It's hard for young players when you draft them because they don't – their offseason's really kind of crazy, right? They go to the combine, and they start doing pro days, then they start traveling everywhere, then immediately they just go to OTAs. Like it kind of never stops for them. And then the summer, they take a deep breath, and boom, training camp hits, and they're in the fucking NFL. It's much easier, like, take a deep breath, you get the offseason, you already know exactly what the offense is or the defense is. You just get to it's just a smoother transition. Then it's on you to just improve. Like I've been saying this forever on this podcast and everywhere. Now, I didn't make this up. I mean, I've learned it from football guys. You either get better or you get worse. And young players, like so many of them, stay in neutral. Like the guys that don't, because a lot of guys, like for every Debo and Kittle and star play DK Metcalf, like a lot of guys just don't really hear from, and then they just kind of get wiped out. N'Keal Harry just didn't get any better. You have to improve. And at quarterback, to me, whatever his offseason training is, leaning into the OTAs and developing an immediate rapport with three guys, right? Because handing off the ball is going to be easy for him. He can the run game is going to be sweet. It always is with Kyle. But George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and obviously Deebo Samuel. Like those guys developing a rapport this offseason. And luckily, you and I have been to so many practices. Like I think Kittle, in all my years of going to NFL practices, is one of the better practice players I've ever seen. Like you don't go to practice with him there and he's not fucking going. And I think clearly Ayuk last year, I thought he looked good, but clearly you had higher expectations. You would hope, right? I think the expectations on him are going to be really high coming in the season. Like build off what happened in the second half of the season and become a stud player for us.
Yeah.
And who knows? Like I doubt this happens, but I mean, there's a chance Debo's holding in or something, right? Until the contract, even in OTAs.
There's a chance. I mean, Lynch made the point today, and it felt like he was talking about Debo and Bosa.
They're going to get paid, but I'm just saying, like, if you're Debo, like, I'm not doing OTAs and tearing my ACL or something.
And the Niners don't want him doing that, tearing his ACL either, or pulling straining a groin or whatever. It wouldn't shock me if those guys show up. Now, Bosa has the history, right? The Bosas. But it wouldn't shock me if there's hey, let's talk and talk and talk, and you come to practice, but we are getting a deal done for you. You do not need to hold out. We are giving you a new contract.
I said hold in.
Oh, hold in. Okay. I might vote for him to hold in just to keep him healthy.
Yeah, I would hold in.
But you need him to work with Trey Lance. That's the hard part.
I think hold in is the new move. Like, I'm a high character guy.
Yeah.
TJ Watt's like, I'm here. I think
Deshaun didn't get credit for the hold in.
Well, to me, Debo feels like a hold in. Like if you said he's not going to practice, do you think he holds out or holds in? I bet he holds in.
If it was a hold in versus a hold out, he'd be a hold in. But I do think they're going to say to him, like, Debo, we want part of what we're about to pay you is like, we need you to be out there with Trey Lance getting ready for the season, right?
And then I go, get this deal done then, and I'll practice.